say hello while I'm getting into this package. This is some PR that's come through. You've seen from the thumbnail and title already that we have a Azure Beauty kit today. So these are dip powders. I have done a previous video with Azure Beauty dip powders that I got, and this is another set. So I'm dead excited to see what, it's well packaged. I'm dead excited to see what colours we've got in this kit. That looks massive. That's even bigger than the last one. Look at the size of that. Right, the last kit that I got was this one. So if you want to see what colours is in this, you can go back and have a look. There's 20 colours in that one. This one, I don't know yet. That's what's so exciting about things. So 20 pieces plus 4 pieces. So that's the ingredients if you want to have a look. Okay, so you get one of these in it, which just shows you that you're better to do swatch sticks, because the colour of the powder in the pot can look completely different when it's on the nails, so depending on how many coats you put on. And sometimes it can just look like almost white, it's pink or blue or something. Again, sorry for traffic noise. Take time to read these instructions that come with them all. So it's got all your application steps in there. And then within this set, oh, that's what's different. Ah, that's to do French. So you put your dip powder in, you slide your finger into it like that. That's great. You could even just use that tray to, if you're sprinkling, to sprinkle over the top of that. That's lovely. Got a buffer this time, so these are your extras, and the other kit comes with that, so have a look when you're buying it. Oh, we've got glitter, gold. Oh, these look stunning. So you do get number 1, which is your base, so you put that on first, and then you either sprinkle your powder or you dip your finger into your powder. Number 2, which is the activator. In some dip kits, you're better to do 1 coat of your powder and then activate, and then wipe that off and do it the whole process again. The last sets of this Azure Beauty I realised I could do base and powder, and then activator. So it depends on the kit that you've got, whether you have to do it all in between. Number 3 is the top coat, so I'll use that and show you. And then this is a brush saver. So you just dip your brush in there. If you've made it a bit clouty, you get a brush to dust off your powder, and a cuticle pusher and a cuticle scraper at the other end. That's that. And then under there is 2 spare brushes in case you really mess up your brushes. If you're careful and you wipe off between putting it back in the bottle, you'll be okay. It worked really well. So I'll get all these out and I'll pop back and I'll show you your application. So I've got them all out of the box. If nothing else, this gives you an idea on how many colours are actually available, because in this set I've got, they're not consecutive, but they run from 23 is the lowest number and 445 is the highest. So it shows you how many kits are available and how many colours. And when they arrive, I'll show you, these are 10 gram pots. The ingredients on the back. And then they'll come sealed like this. Now keep a baby wipe handy, and you can stand your pot on it if you like, because when this powder goes everywhere your bottles become really slippy. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? But it looks different, that's probably what it looks like on the nail, and that's what it's like in there. So what I'm going to do is I'll open them all up and I'll show you application of a creamy one and or just opaque colour, and a glitter one. And then I'll show you what colours we've got in the set. Okay, so I've done a load of the colours, but I've saved these two to show you. So this is number 92, so this is a sort of opaque colour. When you get powder all over your tips, you're likely not going to be able to stick stickers on. So if you use stickers like me, put them on first. I made that mistake before. Right, so this is how quick and easy it is to dip nails. So you'll have prepped your own nails, done your cuticles and everything, and buffed your surface. Go in with your dehydrator and then a primer as you like. That's entirely up to you. And then you slide it in at a 45-degree angle. It's picked all that up. I'm going to give it a few seconds to soak in. It's a beautiful colour, that. Tap some of that off. And I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to finish all this one before I open that because it's glitter, and I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get it all in that one. So while that one's curing, I'm going to show you doing the top coat on these three, on these nails. So this is number 3. So these are glitters, and they've all been done and buffed. These are stunning. Oh, really stunning. So these are 5 glitters that I've got so far. So 6 glitters in total. So that's how nice they would look if they were matte. If I can get them all together. Yeah. Aren't they pretty? Really pretty. So number 3, for your first coat, just be quick with it. Don't worry too much. Just get it on. You're just sealing it in, basically. I think they are stunning. Before it goes back in the pot, I'm going to wipe it off before I dip back in. Just in case, well, if you've buffed it, you probably won't, but just in case you pick up any activator. Turn my brush over and do that one. Oh, look at that. Clear with glitter. Sorry if you just heard my husband sneezing. Wipe it off. Aren't they pretty? And that's just the first coat of top coat, so I'll let those dry. Don't stick together, thank you. This one should be done. I've lost my brush. Oh, it's here. So I'm going to brush that off. That's really nice. Right, number 1 again. Oh, I'm just going to brush the back off. So, number 1 again. Oh, tiny bit of glitter, you see. Come off. So while that's drying, I'll show you this one now. Get that top put back on. This is going to be beautiful. I just know it. Look at this. Oh, wow. So when you've got glitters, if you tap them, your glitter will come to the top. Look. And I know you're supposed to slide it in at a 45-degree angle, but I find with the glitters, if you want a lot more coverage with your glitter, I do it straight onto the top of it like this. That's it, like that. Let that sit a while. This one I can brush off. Oh. Look what I did. Right, back in a minute. Oh, you dope. Right, and relax. I told you these jaws get slippy, don't I? And I just knocked that one flying. Right, so I'll get a buff off and we'll have another go. So you tap. I'm going to be eating glitter for a week now here. So beautiful that. And that's it a minute. Put the lid on before I have any more disasters. Like that. So now this one's number 2, which is the activator. You can see it's spread out on some colours, in others you can't, but just make sure you're all over with it. So I'm just going to use this, my own buffer on this, because I want to keep the one in the box nice and clean. And I have got buffers, so I may as well use one I've already started. So you don't need much filing, it's just a light buff really, just to make sure you're happy and it's smooth. And then your straight file, inevitably because you're brushing down you might have more on the end and more on the sides. But you can just smooth off your side walls. Go across the end. If you've got any thickening on the end you can use your stronger file. And then buff. That's it. So I'll wipe that off. I'm going to alcohol it just to make sure I've got rid of any dust. Isn't that pretty? So these are all the colours in the set, aren't they? Stunning. I think all of them are absolutely gorgeous. It's spring into summer, I think, this one, but it's... Hey, do you know what I didn't know? That's jelly. That's like a jelly-like one. So I've had a look on the website and they do nudes. Jelly nudes in dip powder. Who knew? Look at these. They're beautiful. Look at all them. Wow. Love them. So again, I'm sorry if there's any traffic noise that keeps coming and going, but I can't help it. Obviously, it's really hot. So I've just set Eve up, so you've got your own nail bed, and then you can do your dip onto your own nail bed, or you can do it onto your tips that you've stuck on. So you can do it either way. So you might be lucky enough to have nails like this, but you can do it on short nails, long nails, nail tips, whatever. I've put a primer on, and I'm going to start with doing a bit of an ombre with these two, which is 440 and 439. So I'm going to do green to blue, or blue to green. So I'll get them opened up. So I am going to put some glitter on these as well, but I'll do that last. Well, on this set, should I say. So I've got the blue and the green. And I've got some little paper things. So I might be using 1 or 2 of those. You could actually do it into these. Do it into this. Or that. Tip it back in. So I'll start with number 1. I'm going to do it all. Oh, I need some brushes. So I've got these two, which are just makeup brushes. And I'm going to use that for sprinkling. So number one. Now these are shaped tips, so I don't really need to build any apex. So that's number one. Move my blue. Get my green. Move that. And then my blue. Toothbrush. So that's your easy ombre. So they've all had their activator on, so I'm just going to go down the sides, make sure they've not got thicker. Make sure I've got my shape back. And just at the ends. If you don't like filing, there's nothing easier than doing this dip powder. You can be inventive with it and just practice. And the surface only needs a buff because it kind of self-levels. The worst you can do is to have caught it and made a lump, and you just activate it, file it off and put another coat on. So that's that. I'll use my trusty old buffer, so I'm not using that new one. Oh, get your fingers out of there. This is the first coat going on. So while this is on, let me just tell you, if I've not said already, I'll put the link for Azure Beauty's shop on Amazon below for you. And if you pick up on any of those, go to the store and have a look, because you'll see that don't worry about running out of these liquids, because you can buy them all individually. So they come in these kits. This is 10ml, but you can buy 15ml bottles, but you can also buy 40ml refills to put in. And when you get your kits, you get 2 spare brushes anyway, so you may as well carry on doing that. And your dip kit colours, you can get them where you get 4, 8, 20 or 32 colours in a kit, which is absolutely marvellous. But you know, I said use your own primer or whatever. They do a primer on there, so that's obviously specially formulated for them, so use that or your own, which is on there. But then 40ml refill bottles are brilliant, because some of you might use more of one sort of bottle than another. You might never bother with top coat, you might have your own, so have a look. If you run out, you can do that. So this is this first coat on here. Now, if you've stayed this long, I'm really happy. Thank you very much. That's marvellous. Don't forget to click the like button. But if you want to hang around, when these have done, I'm going to have a go at making some 3D flowers with dip powder. If I manage it, you'll have seen them on the thumbnail. So if you want me to show you how I did them. So that's those colours beautiful. So that's one coat. So I'm letting that dry. And then when I put the second coat on, they'll come back to being just that glossy. But I'll let these dry, put the second on, and I'll come back and I'll get the acrylic flowers done. So if you don't want to stay and see that bit, thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you soon. And the rest of you, I'll see you in a minute. So I'm going to try it like this. I'm going to try it with number 1 on a foam backing, paper foam backing paper. Just that bit. And screw that up. I'm going to use this one, which is 443. It's the peachy colour. And I'm going to concentrate, so I'm going to go to voiceover. So I'm doing this on top of that top coat, which is because I wanted it shiny and then I want the flowers semi-matte. But you can buff that top coat and then do it if you want. So all I've done is I'm using my dotting tool, and I've picked up 3 little spots of that number 1 out of the bottle. Pop them on there, and very quickly I've gone in and sprinkled on the powder. So I'm not going to leave it like full 60 seconds. This is just in twice speed, so it was just a few seconds in, and I'm tapping that off. Notice I've smudged a bit there, and I've got to try and clean it off. But there you go, these things happen. So I'm just going to brush that off so it's still a bit moist underneath and it's still a bit soft. So I'm just using this little brush, which I thought was the stiffest I'd got, but it's probably not the perfect tool, but I managed it. So I do these few dots with this brush, and then I do the next few with the dotting tool, see if that's any better. So whichever works best for you. You could probably use a little silicone tool or something. So I'm just moulding it while it's fairly soft there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit longer while I put the next dots on. So I'll just show you a few of these. I'll not bore you and show you every nail. That's it. So I'm just brushing off any excess because I'm going to go in with the next 3 dots now. That's it, just sprinkle over, give it a few seconds and then knock the excess powder off. Little brush, and then I'll do some moulding with the dotting tool this time. So basically number 1 is a glue, isn't it? So you're just sprinkling into the glue, so before it sets and before we activate we're going to shape it to where I want it. So alright, pleased how these turned out really. I just thought, well, I mould flowers out with monomer and acrylic, so, but if you're buying dip powders you probably haven't got monomer, so I thought I'll just see if it works with this, and it did. So that's that. So brushing off any excess, leaving it a few more seconds, and then I'm just going in with the number 2, which is the activator, and just putting a little dot on each. Don't forget your activator kind of spreads out across it, so they set really hard and they were smashing. Right, I'll show you my flowers now, if you've stood it this long. Look at them. What do you think? Not the best flowers I've ever made, but it's the first time I've tried. So, yeah. And I did orange middles and then decided to put a diamond on. Yeah, pretty. I like them. Thanks so much if you stuck with me to the end. I know it's been a long one. Don't forget to subscribe and click the like if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Loads more to come. Look after each other. Bye.